Well, a warm welcome and thank you for watching Goodwin Live. It's the Wednesday evening edition. We're at on the 20th of May, so thank you very much for watching. It's been a warm day today, so hopefully everybody's had a nice day, and seems to be good news about the amount of virus we got in London. So let's just hope and pray that we can get back to some sort of normality. But in the meantime, we'll continue to do these Instagram live videos, keep you informed with what's going on with our boxers and other people that are involved in the industry. Next time after this, just to give you advance notification, we're back on the 25th next Monday. And next Monday our guests are former Commonwealth title challenger and Southern Area champion Matthew Chander, former Southern Area champion Sean Robinson, Eddie Muscat, matchmaker, helper at the Peacock Gym in London. Eddie's joining us, and trainer Steve Kipps, who's had many champions. He'll be talking about his career and how things have gone. As far as today's concerned, we have 4 guests, subject to everybody being in, and I go from back to front. Our last guest at 7:30 is one of the up-and-coming trainers in the country, Darren Wiseman. Very successful gym down in the Portsmouth area, and Darren will be letting us know about his amateur gym. He's got a fantastic gym and some of the stars that he's got coming through his hands. Prior to Darren, we've got Alan Mortlock, run the very successful IBA, one of the best unlicensed promoters or organisations there is for sure. And Alan will be talking about his career in boxing. Before Alan, we've got Mark Byrne, who trains out of the Shamrock Gym in Luton. And Mark will tell you about his life in and out of boxing. He's got some very interesting things to say. And hopefully, Darryl Church is there. Darryl, who turned pro in 2014. We've looked after him towards the latter part of his career. He's fought on television as well, so we'll talk to Darryl, providing he's in. So we're going to try and find Darryl. If he's in, we'll be having a chat with him. Oh, he's not here. So we have no Darren. Just heads up for Mark Byrne, if you're watching. It's showing unable to join, so you will need to go and sort that out. If I can't get hold of Darryl, I'm going to press the button and try and speak to Justin Menzie if he's around, but give him one more second to join. But if not, we'll move on, see if Justin's around, if he's up for a chat. Let's have a little see. It's a bit of a say. How are you, Justin?
What's going on, Steve?
Yeah, thanks a lot. I mean, you were due to come on later on in June, but we might as well chat to you now. See, we'll have a proper chat in June. So, how are you keeping, my friend? You okay?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
What have you been up to in lockdown?
Actually, I've been doing a lot of work on the house. Been working on the flat. Just literally like 1 month, done all the painting, like literally everywhere. And so I spent a lot of time doing like refurbishing the flat. Next to the garden. Yeah. Because planning to get a dog once the garden's done. Okay. So give me a little running companion.
Excellent. So obviously you've had obviously a very hard year, haven't you? It's been a very difficult year for you.
It has been, yeah.
And it culminated. Yeah. I mean, how do you feel about boxing now? I mean, are you going to be ready to go again when it all reopens?
Oh, most definitely, yeah. I've started back training, so that is the goal. You know what I mean? So I can get back and be fit and ready for when everything's ready to go again, and I ain't got to wait around. So yeah.
Your family well, and everybody's all good?
Yeah, everyone's good.
Yeah,
everyone's good. Got the kids there with me, so yeah, it's been busy. You know, trying to keep the kids occupied and with the school work and everything else. Yeah, it's been non-stop, and then obviously trying to you know, trying to decorate the flat and yeah.
No,
But I'm yeah, we're making it work, so it's all good.
so what do you want now what do you actually want out of your career now going forwards?
I want titles,
Yeah.
Steve. Yeah, I want titles. Obviously, I want more titles to go with that. You know that the belt that I've got now. Yeah. So, but obviously bigger and better titles.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's why I want to get myself into the best shape possible. Going back in, because obviously time's always a factor. So I'm going to give myself the best chance possible.
Yeah.
You know, like you were saying before, there might be some opportunities popping up.
Definitely.
Going forward, you know. So yeah, I'm just going to obviously try and give myself the best start and make sure I'm in the best shape.
Yeah, I mean, there'll be opportunities definitely for fighters on these bigger shows. I think they're going to, and especially you've got a positive. They'll be looking for positive record fighters. So, you know, and you're going to be one of those guys that's capable of going there and springing up a massive upset for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. Obviously, I'm not going nowhere to lose, and you know, not trying to be again taking. I mean, you've said it already. You know, I mean, you said it on the last one. Not trying to take a silly fight where you know, the opponent's way above my level.
Correct.
But and again, you know, I've never been one to if I believe the fighter's above my level, then obviously you know, I won't put myself forward.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's good. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll catch up again in a few weeks. Probably we'll have a full interview. So good to chat to you, Justin. Look after yourself.
And yourself. Nice one, Steve.
Take care.
Cheers, man. Nice one.
Thanks a lot, mate. Cheers. So
cheers.
Thanks a lot to Justin for stepping in while we're waiting for Daryl to join us. I think Daryl's now here, so we'll touch base with Daryl. If you could just switch the off button for me, and then we'll.
What do I?
I think you just press the end button or whatever you press. You just come out of where you are. I'm not sure.
All right. Yeah. Cool.
Got it. All right, my friend. I'll speak to you soon. And we'll now try and get hold of Daryl. Hopefully he's still here. Let's get hold of Daryl. Here he is. He's the first person that's been late on these Instagram live shows. So let's see where Daryl.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Daryl around.
Can you hear me, Steve?
I can hear you. I just can't see you.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Yeah, I've just had to pull over because I'm working. I'm doing nights this week, and I'm near right near Stansted Airport. So
okay, we can hear you. To be honest, Daryl, I don't think we're missing a lot not being able to see you. So
yeah, that's the best part of my face, isn't it?
You've been punched a lot, so maybe not.
Yeah.
How are you, mate? You're still busy working then through it all?
Yeah. So I'm on nights this week. I haven't stopped working since the start, mate. To be honest.
Really? That's been good. We're having trouble here with Daryl. Getting hold of Daryl. We're having trouble here. Just lost connection. God, we're not having a lot of luck. Try him again. Let's try again. I think he's in the road without much signal, so let's try again.
You with me?
We got you this time. Gotcha.
Hey, look at that face. Look.
How you keeping? You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Yeah, I'm all good. How's things with you?
Yeah, not too bad. We're just plodding along doing the same thing, but yeah, I mean, you've been working. Is it all safe out there for you?
Yeah, so I took just before all this come about. I took a job on the road servicing. So where we're down as sort of essential workers, we've managed to carry on working. So it's literally been day and night, mate. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, it's just all the social distancing really, and just keeping to it as much as possible. But yeah, no, we ain't stopped. Yeah.
So that's good. So let's talk about your career. We go back. You started out in July 14. Talk me through who did you sign with originally? Who was your first manager?
So I was with Cole Graves to start with. And my debut was against Curtis Gargano at Civico in Grays, yeah. And that was, God, it was 2014. It goes so quick.
6 years ago. 6 years.
Yeah. It's nuts, isn't it? How quick it goes.
Yeah.
I think where along the way you're sort of inactive a bit, and the years just go. You know, it's like weeks and months just go, don't they?
Yeah, because I mean, I'm looking. You had 2 in 2014. You only had, but I see you only had 1 in 2000. Why did you only have 1 fight in 2015?
Because that would have been the probably work, and this is a subject I wanted to sort of get on a little bit with you. That people don't understand, right? The pro boxing, professional boxing at this level, there's no money in it. There's no money whatsoever, and I think that's what people people watching that's not in the game need to realise. I remember I was sitting at a small show once, and I was behind a couple of people, just chatting along, just a couple of people, and they were like, "Oh, how much do you reckon he's getting for this fight?" He said to his mate, and his mate was like, "Oh, probably 8 grand. He'll have to give his manager probably money." And this was just a 4-rounder, and I'm sitting there thinking, you ain't got a clue. What you half want to say something? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the reality of boxing at this level. You have to work full time, and if you're doing what I'm doing, there's so much time where you are going to be inactive because you can't keep it up all the time. I mean, like financially, you have to work, especially when you got children, you got a house. Do you know what I mean? It's a hard game.
I mean, I've done several interviews the last month. I've done the Daily Mirror, Star, and I've just done the Telegraph today. And he said to me, the Telegraph said to me, "What's the best advice you can give your boxers?" I said, "Get a job." Because I mean, you know, we say it as it is, right? So we explain to every single boxer that starts off with us exactly what they're signing up to. But some boxers sign up to be a pro, not really realising what they're walking into. It's much more difficult, harder, and a financial struggle than people believe, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah. Oh, it's so hard. It's and still to even your mates and stuff, you know, when you put in tickets, even on Facebook, because everything's tickets, and I think half the people were a bit like, "Oh, he's just trying to get money out of me," because I think that's what a lot of people are like. You know, they don't still understand that you have to sell tickets to fight. You know. Yeah. And I think still with people that's been coming for years, it's sort of like, go and ask them, and they still don't get it. Do you know what I mean? You need to flood that with tickets.
I mean, I can vouch for you because we've spoken about this. I mean, when you came to us, but we've spoken about this. The only time you've ever had a purse was when you fought Joel McIntyre, wasn't it, at the O2 and the Ultimate Boxer? That was the only time. The only time.
So you got to think, out of all them years, all of obviously 6 years of a professional, you've got that little bit of money. So you think of all the time that you've had off of work. Because I mean, I used to sort of go to work in the morning, run off sparring, and I used to go back to a client's house with black eyes, and I used to be like, "What's going on?" You sort of some of them are all right, but do you know what I mean? You can't do it all the time. It's hard. But
I think people look at boxers, you're right, and they think they're making fortunes. It's only the very, very few that go on and make really good money out of the sport and like change their lives, isn't it? And I think I was talking to Robbie Chapman about this the other day, because Robbie's a really good pro, but he's going to go on the road now because he said he can. I mean, we chatted about it, and we think he can get a deposit for a house doing that. Now, if he stays on the left-hand side of the bill, he's never going to earn enough money. He's not going to ever reach the heights to earn really big money. Yeah.
Tommy Jacobs on there now. He's right as well. Still, for Ultimate Boxer, you got to do tickets.
Correct. Yeah, wasn't and all that was a purse. They insisted you sell so many, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah. It's still everything. Everything's tickets. It's a business at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And
he's right.
People still, some people don't understand. Hold on, there's a plane going over.
Didn't think I was on anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, mate. Nah. Everything else is all right. It's just just sort of getting through, you know.
So what has been, obviously looking at your career, and I know you've had ups and downs and everything else, what's been the best thing during the whole of your boxing career? What's been the best experience?
What's been the best? I think probably would have been on the Haymaker show.
Yeah.
I think that probably would have been. I mean, say that Ultimate Boxer would have been great, but it's obviously the outcome, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course.
I got a good sponsor out of that though, didn't I?
Yeah. Because it helps. You got money from that, and I think that's when you get you get that. Yeah.
It's for the soles of my feet. It was when they're up in the air.
You listen. You weren't ever. Nobody was ever K'ing you out. There wasn't.
Oh
you
no,
were a tough man. You weren't going. Nobody was ever going to knock you out.
I was getting straight up, yeah. But no, like I say, I think it's probably a Haymaker because it was a good. Do you know what I mean? Getting down that gym and that, and it was a good show, wasn't it? Good knockout.
You had some nice experiences. And what's the worst experience you've had?
Worst experience. Do you know what? I think the worst experience would probably be the home life of it and what it's caused. Because I'm not going to lie, if we're going to talk, do you know what I mean? There's no point faking it. We'll talk real. It's probably the home life. It's caused so much stuff at home. Do you know what I mean? Like I say, I've got kids, I've got a house, I've got a missus, and I think sometimes it can be the home life that it affects you. Well, it affects them. So I don't think it's actually in boxing. It's more the stuff around it and how much I've sort of stuck at it. Do you know what I mean? I've kept going, and I mean, out of that last fight, I had to pull out because I couldn't. It was enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but I had to be there for my family, and I had to do the right thing.
Yeah,
I kept pushing, and it was time to put them first. So I had to pull out of that March fight, but it didn't happen in the end, did it? Anyway, did it? That show?
No. So you would have trained to the end for nothing. So it was, I suppose in the hindsight you didn't lose anything out of it. And I think, I mean, you're talking about it real, and for anybody on here who's watching, who's thinking of turning pro, this is reality, right? You've got to, unless you can sell a good number of tickets. I said to somebody today, don't bother, just don't turn pro. It's too hard.
No.
If you sell a good number of tickets, you can earn. But if it's always going to be a struggle, and you're not going to become a British champion, you've got to think about whether it's the wrong for you, don't you?
Yeah, oh, definitely, absolutely. I mean, I've had great times as a pro, and I'm glad I've done it. I've had some great nights, but the best time for me, the most fun was in the unlicensed.
Yeah,
you got definitely 100%. Don't get me wrong. Like I say, I've had a great time, but the fun sort of goes out of it. Do you know what I mean? I was never sort of how I felt at home. I never had that struggle with home life and things like that. In the unlicensed, it was all sort of fun, you know.
It's a different level, isn't it? It's a different level.
Yeah,
of boxing.
Of course.
It's more for. I mean, unlicensed are for those people that don't want to go to the next level. And no, I totally understand that. Yeah, but for some boxers, they should stay unlicensed, shouldn't they? And that's where they should remain. And for other people move on, it's different, you know.
And that's what you're saying about you. They need to be told what it's like turning over, and if it's worth it or not. And how far they think they can go, and the whole tickets as well, because unfortunately everything is tickets, isn't it?
And even with the bigger shows, even if you go on a hay show, you were still expected on the hay show to sell, weren't you? Although it's easier to sell, they still expected you to sell.
Yeah, definitely.
So
and did you know what as well? Saying that about probably, I think after Ultimate Boxer, I mean, I sold a load of tickets for that because, like you say, it's a big event. You will sell more, but when you come off of them events and you haven't done well, that's when then people don't want to come back. That's what I found. After Ultimate Boxer, you go on a normal show again, which is still good, but they're not seeing that big stage, are they?
No, I get
so
that.
So the O2, like the other Channel 5, the Haymaker show, people are on it more. So when you do go on them big stages, you have got to perform, and you've got to win.
I mean, at least the one thing I was at least able to do for you was to give you 2 opportunities on bigger stages, wasn't it? And that's something a lot of boxers don't even get that, do they?
No, of course not. And And I think you've got, well, them opportunities about taking them. You've got everything's got to be right at home, because if it's not right at home, you're not going to perform. You're really not. You've got to have. I'd say to anyone, you've got to have them sponsors ready, people to back you, everyone to buy tickets, and you really got to be ready to sort of go. Because I mean, when I went into it, you're not sort of too sure about how it's going to work, and I had to find out on the way. But yeah, if I could say to anyone, I'd just say to get them sponsors ready, get everything sorted, and then sort of go for it, you know.
Didn't Carl ever explain it to you? Didn't Carl tell you before you turned over what you were walking into?
Yeah, he probably would have, but you know what you like when it's all sort of new, you're sort of a bit naive to it, yeah. You sort of half listening up. Do you know what I mean? I just wanted that debut, and do you know what I mean? Cole's a nice bloke. I like Cole.
No, he is. Cole's nice.
He done some good shows down there, and always sort of helped you with money side. So
no, he's a good guy.
Yeah, like you say, I think you're sort of a bit naive to it. So if someone really tells you, like you say, when people are turning over how it is, be a lot better before the fight. You know?
Well, listen, I'm glad you're doing well, with families well, and everything like that, mate.
So yeah.
We'll catch up.
All good.
We'll catch up again soon. But I think it's been really interesting because you've been able to tell people exactly how it is and some of the trials and tribulations with it. So
yeah, no, it is. You've got to be real. So I just think social media. I mean, I come off of social media. I mean, I started this account for this tonight, and I've been off for about 4 months because just taking a break. You know, it's like people can sell you anything. It's all fake on there half the time.
Yeah, no,
do you know what I mean? You might as well be real, mightn't you?
Yeah, no, brilliant. Take care, Dan.
That's what I'm doing.
Nice to meet you. And look after
all right,
yourself.
You too.
Cheers.
See you later, mate.
Take care, mate. So we're running a bit behind now. So what I'm going to do is Alan Mortlock was due on at 7:20, and as long as Mark's okay with it, I'll bring Alan in now, and then we'll touch base with Mark very shortly. We're trying to cut down a little bit of the time, so we'll just try and do that. So apologies for that. We overrun, but you did have a chat with Justin Menzie as a bonus. So let's try and find Alan Mortlock if he's here. Then we'll go with Mark Byrne and then Darren Wiseman. Waiting for Alan to join us. Cheers, Mark. I'm glad you're okay with waiting. We're waiting for Alan to join us. So give him a second. If not, we'll. Right, Alan's gone. If not, I'll jump back to Mark and bring Alan in afterwards. You can't find Alan's not coming through here. Okay, let's go back to Mark. I'm just trying to, because Alan didn't join, it's hung up it's caused the. Let's try again. Let's get one more time. Had a bit of. Sorry about this, guys. We're just waiting to try and get Alan Mortlock, but we'll give it another go. Try Alan again. Just need to click accept, Al, and then you're through. We're in business.
Steve,
how are you, mate? You well?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Last time I saw you, I watched you on video in a cage fight. I couldn't believe what I was watching.
I wish I was back in there, son.
I'll tell you what, that took some bottle. I mean, I know you're a man with a lot of balls and whatever, but Jesus, that looks hard. That looked really hard.
It was hard, but I did enjoy it, Steve.
Did you? Great.
Yeah.
So tell us about. I mean, you run one of the top 2 unlicensed shows. I mean, there's what I try and say to people all the time. you can't criticise unlicensed boxing as a whole. You can criticise certain shows, certain people that run them. But you've been in it for a long time, and I've been to one of your shows a few years ago, and it was really good. So, I mean, tell us about how. Well, the first question is, why did you do unlicensed rather than professional boxing? What made you go that route?
I did. I was in the professional game in 1996. I had a trainer's and cornerman's seconds license, and I was Mark Potter's trainer for 14 fights. Yeah, and Mark Potter came to me, and like I say, he was with me for 14 fights. He had 13 wins, one loss, where we went to France to fight the former French champion Antoine Palatis. And then what happened, I was dabbling. I was a kickboxing promoter, but I was dabbling with boxing on the kickboxing shows. And I found that my boys that was fighting and training with me swapped the kickboxing to the boxing. And that's how we really started. We'd do a dual bill. We'd have like 7 or 8 kickboxing and 5 or 6 boxing. And then slowly the boxing took it over. Now, I did have a promoter's license for the pro game by the ball. And in it was probably about 1999, I had a backer, very wealthy man. And where I was already promoting the shows, he was going to back me. But at that time, I worked the finances out, Steve, for small hall professional boxing and realised I couldn't make no money.
Yeah, I agree.
And I couldn't make no money. So what I did is I carried on and I built up what is now the IBA, the Independent Boxing Association. I started with 30 fighters. And I think we probably built it till about 700 to 800. And then, you know, everybody kind of jumped on the same thing, which is fair comment, fair competition. And we're probably holding about 600 fighters now.
God, you're still doing plenty, aren't you? Still doing a lot. We
was doing sometimes 20, I think the most I ever promoted in a year was 21 shows, Steve. But now it's between 8 and 10 shows a year.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. People come to me and they'll go, and you know this is true, and they'll go, God, you promoters are making 20 grand a show from small hall boxing. My God, it's not, I mean, you can say it's total rubbish, isn't it? It's hard to break even doing it.
Yeah.
Really hard.
It's, like I say, yeah, it is. And, you know, back in the day, the ticket sellers could sell a powerful ticket, and now people struggle. I mean, back in the 90s, you'd have plenty of fighters that would go and do, you know, 100 tickets, but we worked out the money, and I just couldn't, with all the work to go into it, I didn't see that there was a good return. Bit like what you said, you know, a fighter to make it and go big, really and truly, it's got to be, not been knocking no fighter. I would never do that. You've got to be a bit special to get the big money.
No, that's for sure. That's for sure. So have you still got the passion for boxing now? Is it still there?
I love the unlicensed game, but my wife and my boys can't believe it. I'm the only boxing promoter that don't go to boxing shows. Because when I'm doing it every day, Steve.
Yeah.
But I will go now and again at the Palomine. I've been to your shows, which is very nice when Rebel fights, and a few of the boys that box for me. But I suppose in a way I haven't lost the passion, but there's so many promotions out there, Steve. It's a battle nowadays.
Yeah. No,
so I've lost the passion. I've lost that type of little bit of, you know, kind of buzz for trying to keep up with the, not so much the competition. It's like the ticket sellers. It ain't like it used to be, Steve.
Is it the same on unlicensed as well?
Yeah, in the unlicensed game, you had many characters that would come to fight, yeah? And all those guys would sell a massive ticket. You know, I've got to send out a big thanks to fighters that come to my mind, like Paul Hills, who went pro. Paul's been there, seen it, done it. He's now fighting on the BKB, the bare knuckle. You know, Paul would go and sell 100, 150, £50 tickets. And there was many other fights, Jason the Governor Guyver and I mean, Darryl Church, I believe, fought for me back in the day from up Colchester.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And in them days, we'd sell out, you know, big shows. And I don't know. I think the world's changed, Steve. I mean, apart from what's going on at the minute, I think the whole planet's changed into a different mindset.
Yes, it's tough. I mean, a lot of boxers do find it hard now selling. I think it is becoming harder and harder, and I think it'll be even harder at the end of this as well, won't it?
I do. I really do. I really do. I don't really know. I mean, I cancelled 4 events. We had 2 in April. Sorry, 1 in March, 2 in April, and we had the York Hall Bethnal Green ready to go. I've diversified now from. I'm still doing the unlicensed, but I've gone also into the white collar boxing, and I've also started the Ladies Boxing Association, which is really before this virus thing was saying. We had 100 women sign up. We were ready to roll with a ladies only show in Stevenage, and yeah, so you know we was ready to go. We cancelled 4 events, and it's like, you know, that's what I do for a living. I make fights happen. So it's.
So talking about white collar, let's talk about white collar boxing. What did you make of that Channel ITV documentary that was on about a month ago? What did you make of that?
Well, you know what, you have to take them exposures kind of with the way they can seem to fit things up the way they want it, and they cut and edit it. Obviously, I don't think it done the white collar organisation much good. We run ours in a different format. We've kind of looked at that 8-week training, and we've done the 8-week training, which I don't think is enough. So we've give it to 10 weeks minimum and maybe a maximum of 12 weeks. We do have doctors on board with a full paramedic team, with a full ambulance, with full of resuscitation equipment. So we don't, and I've always done that in the unlicensed job. I've always never just had paramedics. I've always had a fight doctor plus a full team. And the matchmaking for me now, I'm only putting novice against novice. I won't pull any journeymen in, even if it's, I'd rather blank the fight in the white collar, because them boys ain't real fighters as such.
No, for sure.
And you know, we've got a different format. We've called it the White Collar Boxing League, and it is a league. It's a functional league. You can go up the league and down the league, and that way they can see who they're fighting on the point system that we've got. So we're kind of doing the white collar in a different way. And you know, I had to come out from the unlicensed because so many people was at it. And I thought, well, I'll join the others now as well, and I'll have a go at the white collar.
So you're still enjoying it, but what I sort of get across now, you do it and you do what you do to the best of your ability, but it's more of a bit business first, really. Business first, sort of. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. When I started in the unlicensed, I always remember Roy Shaw. He went to me. He said, "We started it back in the day, which you did with Joey Pyle." He said, and then it finished. He said, but now you've took it and you've kind of streamlined it in them days, it was for the 90s to take it forward, which was a lovely tribute to hear that. And in them days, it was the unlicensed boxing. It wasn't illegal, we know that, but it was gritty, it was raw. They would all have a good tear up, mostly 50-50 fights. Crowd loved it. And totally different to pro boxing. It wasn't professional, that's it. They're not pro fighters. But I think the generations have changed now, where we talk about, you know, it just in that game, it's not like as it was.
So what has been, over the years that you've been involved in boxing, what's been your best experience? What if you could say one night that you enjoyed the most, what was it?
I'll be honest with you, Steve. I did a really, really big show at the Brentwood Centre. I've done a few shows at Brentwood Centre and sold them out. But I did a big international, England versus, I had Italians at York Hall Bethnal Green, Maltese flyover. It was taking the unlicensed boxing to a different level, you know, and making it, if you like, professional. I know that might sound crazy, but it was making the fighters feel like they were professional fighters. And we've had some great atmospheres, and you know, even at the other end of the scale, we've had some really, really great fights. I mean, Dominic Negus fought for me.
Yeah, I
Mark
saw him
Potter.
fighting.
Yeah, great ex-professional fighters have come on board with the IBA back in the day.
Yeah.
And seeing those guys fight for me, yeah, they were great times.
Yeah, no, that's good. Well, listen, I wish you every success in your new venture going forward. Thanks a lot for joining me, Al, and you're one of the characters of the sport, so really great to talk to you, my friend. You look after yourself, Al.
You're one of my favourite professional promoters.
Oh, thanks a lot. Cheers, matey. Top man.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Al. You look after yourself. That's Alan Mortlock, a man that's done a lot of years in boxing in many, many spheres. And what we're going to do now, we're going to speak to a man that has been training for a few years. He's now working out of the Shamrock Boxing Gym in Luton. Friend of mine, Mr. Mark Byrne. So let's try and find Mark. Here he is. A man that I often question why he's in the sport. So let's... Mark, how are you?
Hi, Steve. You got your comments.
I was just saying before I come, I often question why you're in the sport because you've got a very good job. You're under a lot of pressure at work, and there you are working with Dalton, Justin, and other fighters. I mean, God, you must be committed.
Yeah, it is. You got your comment section switched off. I think that's because Alan was saying he wasn't earning money, so no one could comment. I boxed with Alan's couple of Alan's shows, so he's a good lad.
Really? So I just try to turn on. There we go. Put them back on again. Yeah. That's it.
I'll tell you what it is, Steve. It's. I mean,
Darren will be with you shortly. We're overrunning a bit, but we'll be with you shortly, Darren. Carry on, Mark.
I was listening to Daz Church. You know, he's saying 6 years and things like this, and I'm thinking, geez, it was 40 years when I first walked into a gym, boxing gym. So to answer your question, why do I keep doing it? I think a little bit of regret. I didn't take my career like I should have done. I listened to my dad. And I get enjoyment from helping the kids. And it's like, you know, people like you and what Daz was saying about the ticket sales. So try and keep them on a level par. Keep them with the amateurs as long as they can, do well. And that's what motivates me is the amateurs, bringing them on to... but it's very hard pro game. And I'm glad someone like Dale Church actually mentioned it and was honest about it. You know, it's not glamorous. You know, I can remember Graham L. He'd go to work in a London bank until he won the British title. I think the second defence he made. You know, I've seen people like Robin Deakin. I've seen him earn so much money. You know, and fair play to Robin, probably walk away with the sport with no money.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I keep my business head on and I enjoy my boxing as a coach and not as a fighter anymore or doing any fighting.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously you've got a few boxes down there in Luton. I mean,
yeah.
What do you want out of it now, Mark? I mean, you sit there and you think, do you want a team of boxers, a small team, a big team? Do you want champions? What is it? Because you must have something what you're doing it for. Cause it's certainly not money, is it? That's for sure.
No, certainly not money. No. The first thing is I mean, I've always been involved with boxing as a second and doing the cuts with Graham and James Paisley and RJ, as you know, with some good fighters and learning the trade as a coach because it's a different step. People don't realise that when you come from boxing backgrounds, it doesn't matter how good you are, it doesn't make you a good coach. So I've been learning it, and John Cole is another great person I've learned from as well.
Great job.
Fantastic person, you know. And what I want from is I want to see. My first aim is Dalton and Justin. They're my first two aims. Is try and give them something that maybe someone could have given them but hasn't for whatever reason. You know, just trying to help them along. And we wouldn't do it, and I wouldn't do it as a coach if it wasn't for people that sponsored them. Going back to the tickets, you know, you've got Andy Harriton, Home Glaze, Caterline, GoPack. These are four people that we know that sponsor and help them out. So my first thing is them, get them through they're at the end of their careers. There's no doubt about it. And I spoke to them both last week. We had a Zoom call for Gym 1. And I said to them, you know, keep fit because you're going to have to take an opportunity. Because the opportunity is not going to be where they were 12 months ago.
No,
you know, not silly fights like Justin said, but take an opportunity. You know, yeah. And then after them too, obviously there's some great pros in the Shamrock camp. And you know Mervyn, he's a promoter like yourself. And you've got Gary Hughes and Ishii, Michael. a couple of them coming through, and I think I won't mention one of them out of all of them, but I think one of them will be a British champion, and I'll help along with that. But my main goal is I've done all my England coaching badges now. I've got them back because we had to give them up about 10 years ago. And my aim is to bring a couple of amateurs right through the ranks, all the way through, as far as we can take them, whether it's Olympic or England, and bring them over to a pro, and then work with them all through the pro. That's why I do it in boxing.
So how's Alison about your boxing? Does she back you, or does she get fed up with the amount of time you spend doing it?
She's disappeared. I think she's glad that at 36, I think my last fight was, that I didn't ever take a punch again. She understands, and this is a thing I say in business, and I say to all the young lads, behind every successful man, there's a strong woman. And if you haven't got the support of your wife or your girlfriend, you'll never achieve anything anyway. And
that is actually the same for boxers as well, right? I mean, I've seen so many fighters get into a relationship, and then all of a sudden the girlfriend wants more time with them, and their career goes totally out of the pan. Yeah,
it's probably one of the reasons I didn't turn over to the pro game. When I fell out of love with it a little bit when I was an amateur, and you met girls, I turned 15, 16, and and you do it, that they like it what you're doing, but they don't want you to dedicate your time. Yeah, and when I got back into boxing a bit as fighting for like a couple of Alan shows and a couple of the other shows, Ali was really supportive. She'd help me with diet. She'd make sure I did everything right. She was really supportive. And even with my business, I met my wife at the business I'm still at today, and we're just a good team. It is what it is. She's fantastic. I won't blow it.
And it's great. It's great that you've got a woman who lets you do what you want to do, because I'm the same. I've been married 33 years or something now, and my wife has to cope with a hell of a lot, because I'm I've got my financial business as well, and she supports everything I do, and a lot of women wouldn't do that. They just wouldn't tolerate it, and probably you could say rightfully so. But it's great when you've got one that does.
Yeah, you do, and everyone needs it, and especially boxing's a solitary sport. People don't realise that. It's very, very solitary. You've got all the support around you doing the training and everything like that. But what people don't realise, when you actually go in there in that ring, there's no one else. There's no one to help you, no one to hold your hand, no one to advise you until that bell goes. You've got 60 seconds to do that in.
Yeah.
So the support that happens around, and that's why I always say about the sponsors, we've got 4 good sponsors with Dalton and Justin that help them, and that helps them prepare and train and try and help sell tickets and things like that. But when they're in that ring, because they've had that support training and outside life and family, they're more confident in the ring.
Yeah. But both of your lads are lovely, a pleasure to deal with. They're nice lads, and Dalton he's been trying hard to get. We've got to get in that title shot. We've got to get in that big fight, and he's got to take advantage of it. And because he deserves that big night, doesn't he?
He does, and I think Dalton's a reality person. He doesn't dream. And RJ's just come on. He'll tell you that, And Rod did a tremendous job with Dalton over, I think, 5 or 6 years that we was all together. And we're still together, and we do things with Rod, but Dalton's decided to come this way a little bit to do his training. And he's a down-to-earth guy. He looks in reality, and he's got a lot of drive. But you've got to keep on at him. Yeah.
So hopefully this year again he'll get his go.
Yeah.
And how are you finding the boxing? Are you happy you've had a break from boxing, or is it? Are you getting itchy feet now to get back into it?
I'm definitely getting itchy feet to get back into it. That's for sure. I was happy to have the break, not coming in from work or driving down from the office in Blackburn or working 14 hours in, going to the gym till 9, 10 o'clock at night. But now I'm missing it. And I'm missing it for the kids. I enjoy the amateur nights. I mean, the pro game is lovely. It's fantastic. And I treat that the way it should be treated. But the kids is the enjoyment of it. Them coming in, giving you a bit of lip and seeing them develop. It's fantastic. We've got some great kids, and Luton's had a good history of boxing. And it's all come from the good amateur gyms, what Liam's doing over in Dunstable. Fantastic with the kids. That guy, he needs a medal for what he does with kids.
No, he's great, Liam.
Oh, he's just turned up and I've plugged him.
Oh, right.
I'll go back and put these glasses on to see. But no, you know, everyone that does amateur gyms, you know, they don't do it for money. They do it for the love of the sport. They do it to help the kids for whatever reason it is. And then if something develops from it, where they are good enough to fight and win something, and that's why we all do it. And that is the big enjoyment. I've got two great kids over in Ireland. Yeah, they're both. Adam, he's been over Liam's gym. He's won the Irish Championship twice now, All Ireland. So, you know, he's just turned 19, I think. No, 19. So maybe another year or so, and he'll look at turning pro. You know, there's some great pedigrees within the amateur gyms in the Luton area, and the connections with Luton Irish, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think boxing back to Luton, I think it'll get strong again. We've got, you know, Linus and Kay already. We've got two
English champions at the same time. It's good going.
You know, you've not had that. You mean we had Billy and Graham fight at world levels, and I think both of them. I think, no disrespect to Kay, I think Linus could probably potentially touch that base as well. You know, Kay, he's got the talent. He's just probably age is not on his side, but who knows? Who knows what comes around?
No, exactly.
You know, good boxers, and I think people in the Luton area and the kids especially really look up to them too. So they've done a fantastic job in keeping themselves down to earth.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Well, Mark, thanks a lot for joining us.
No problem, Steve.
Always good to chat to you.
Yeah, and you.
Yourself.
Take care. Let's keep safe for the family, mate.
Same to you, my friend. You look after yourself.
Take care. Cheers. Bye-bye. Bye.
Cheers. And that's Mark Byrne from Luton, man that devoted to the sport, to another man that's, as a trainer, has got a fantastic setup in Portsmouth. And I think he's a man you're going to hear a lot of over the next few years, Darren Wiseman. Let's see if we can get hold of Darren. Apologies to Darren that we've taken so long to get hold of him, but we're going to track him. Here we go. Let's get hold of Darren. He trains the exciting Bailey Donald, amongst others. Darren, how are you? Sorry about the delay.
How are you, mate? You're good.
You're good. So,
all good. I'm just dodging that virus at the moment. I'm just keeping away from it.
Well, we've all got to do that, mate, till we get back to normal, haven't we? It's going to be.
We're on the run, yeah. We're on the run from it.
Yeah. So.
But now all good. You're all good.
No, we're great. Everything's all fine. Everything's fine down here, but just got to wait for this all to sort itself out. I mean, nobody knows where we are, do we? We just have to we're each day at a time.
We're all guessing, aren't we? No one's got no real answers on it. So,
well, the government.
I think the best thing to do is just keep out of the way from everyone. That's all you can do, isn't it?
Well, the government are guessing as well. They haven't got a bloody idea either. I mean,
no one's got an idea. No one.
So you exactly.
So no, all good, mate. All good, and we're just hiding from it. And the boxing's finished at the moment, so we're waiting for that to get back on.
Yeah, no. So
we're good.
You've got Bailey Donald. I mean, we'll talk about Joel in a minute, but you've got Bailey Donald now. He's a shining light down your gym, and he's obviously an exceptional talent. And he's obviously he's turned pro. He's had a couple, hasn't he? So
yeah, his birthday was last month, I think. So he's just turned 19. So yeah, he's coming along good, and with age, he's getting stronger. He's good. He's going to be a good kid, that's for sure. And he's got a good following, so you've got to have that, haven't you?
He's great. He's great to watch. He's got charisma. I mean, he's got everything, and I think he's definitely going to be a boxer that the two of you're going to go a long way together for sure.
Yeah. The thing with Bailey is because of his amateur pedigree, he's boxed so many different styles. I think he had 43 fights, something like that, and at good level, he boxed for England. So he's boxed so many good kids. He can adapt, and to me, that's everything. If a boxer can adapt, you've got it. You got the whole package. There's a lot of boys out there that they've got one trick and that's it. And as soon as someone learns how to beat them, they're useless. You've got to be able to adapt. So the thing with Bailey is he's had such good quality experience and good sparring. He can adapt really well. So yeah, I think no matter what you throw in front of him, without me even talking to him in the corner, he can adapt straight away. Which is
what you need for a champion, isn't it? If you're going to get all the way,
a lot of fighters struggle against the southpaw, and I don't think he's lost against the southpaw yet. So he must have had about 10 southpaws in his box, and he's won there all the time. So he can adapt, which a lot of my kids we all learn out. You've got to adapt. It's really important for me to be able to adapt. We have got some in the gym that can't. You need to work on that. You've got to be able to adapt.
100%. So Joel McIntyre he was your first pro, wasn't he, in the twilight of his career?
Yeah, he's still lurking around in the gym, that's for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that man is a gym rat, and no matter where he could not even tell you he's coming, and he'd be in the corner of the gym. He will be there. He's always in the gym, and he likes hitting things. So he loves hitting things.
Very talented boxer, and he obviously former English champion. I mean, his highlight of his career was the Miles Shinkwin fight down in Portsmouth. That was his golden night, wasn't it? It was a golden night for him. Again, I think he should have been in the final with Shakan Peters of Ultimate Boxer, shouldn't he? Just went.
Yeah.
It's very unfortunate it didn't work out that night, but
I mean, I think that's with Dex Bowman, wasn't it, who he lost to? That still niggles away at him, and I know what he's thinking in the back of his mind, because we really did think that he did win that night, you know.
Yeah.
And even in the corner, Joel said, "We got it all to win it. We got it on." And in my head, I thought we've just done enough.
Yeah.
But he was in the fight, and he switched southpaw, and he walked onto a rear hand, and he hit himself, you know. He beat himself up about it. So I think that's still there in Joel's head. And like I say, he is always in the gym. He's always fit. He likes hitting. He loves hitting things. He loves hitting people.
He's had a great career, Joel. He's been it was great for me to take him on when he wasn't getting anywhere and take him to the English title. And I had good times with Joel at the end. But it's just, it's great. So moving on. So you've got a big gym. You've got a load of amateurs as well. How many amateurs have you got down there?
Well, I've got a little gym. It's only a small gym, and I've only got 15 fighters. But all 15, they're all championship fighters, every single one of them. So we've got no keep fitters in the gym. To join the gym, it's a bloody nightmare. They've got to have 2-week trial to join the gym. And if they don't show anything in that 2 week, we say, no, it's not for them. This gym's not for them. There's other gyms to go to, but this gym's not for them, because they're all tough kids, real tough kids. So we're really strict on who we have in the gym and who we take on, because like all the other coaches, I give up my life for the sport, you know, and you want 100% back, don't you?
Yeah, no,
so it's tough. It's a tough club to join. There's only 15 boys in the gym, but every single one of them are all championship fighters. Every single one.
So I thought it was more fighters than that, because I see all the success you have with them. So I was assuming because of the amount of success, there's a large number. But no,
that's just 15 boys. Yeah, I mean, they've all won Hampshire titles every single year. The Southern County title, they've all won that. They've all been in the finals, and they're coming through from. I mean, I've got one 14-15, Jack Carter, he's a little junior coming through. He's in the national finals at the moment. So because of what happened, it got postponed. So we're waiting for that still. So he's still in the finals yet. So then we got the next age coming up from him, which is like my son Liam and Charlie. They're coming through behind Bailey. So they're all kids that I've trained from sort of 7, 8 years old. And they're all coming. The whole circle. We're doing the whole circle.
Yeah. Do you think that some of them will end up being pros as well and following in the footsteps?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every single kid that's in the gym, that's all their mindset. They're gonna do the best they can, get on the England squad and box for England. Hopefully, then when they turn 18 to 20, they're going to see how they get on. If none of them do too well with the England squad, then it's all their mindset of turning professional, all of them.
I mean, well, then Bailey is going to be their inspiration as they watch him go through and do all his stuff, isn't it? So they'll be able to see somebody.
Yeah, and Bailey's come through from a junior. He's come up through junior to youth, and then he's gone from youth to he boxed for England. Then he turned professional after that on his 18th birthday with you. So he's done the full circle. Then the next boys they're coming through, they're going to do the full circle. And this goes back to like 11-year-olds. I've got little 11-year-olds in the gym. They're following the exact same. The circle's unbelievable.
What a brilliant way, though. What a brilliant setup you've got. I always say that to people, that your setup down there is amazing, the way you're setting them all up all the way through. And that's why I believe that if we look back in, I don't know, 5 to 10 years' time, I think you'll be a massive name in boxing as a trainer. I think you're going to be one of the big things in the sport, I'm sure.
But the boys will 100%, yeah, that's for sure.
And you're the man guiding them, so
And I'll be with them, yeah.
Darren?
Yeah, it's a great. I mean, when we first started, I mean, some of these kids we was training because we didn't have a gym. We was training on the street in a cage. There's a basketball cage, and we used to hang the bags up on the basketball net. So we started off with nothing. And then next minute we had the local church said we can train there for free. So then we went there. Then we went to the community centre opposite. And then we got a sponsor, Jackson's Groundwork, and he started paying for us with the gym. And then it just branched out from nowhere.
Yeah, no.
And then 3 years ago, we had 4 boys box for England, and there was all 4 box for England at the same time in the championships, 3 nations, and that was it. The club went massive from then onwards.
No, I mean, I think Portsmouth's got obviously Mike McKinson at the moment doing well, but I think what it lacks at the moment is the strength in depth to make Portsmouth a massive boxing town. But I think you'll be the man, and your boxers will be the one that bring boxing back to Fratton Park and everything else that's going to go on down there. I'm certain that's going to happen. Yeah, I'm certain.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah, it's a good story. It's a good story with them kids, and I'm real close with all the boys, and yeah, it's a good story.
Yeah, it's brilliant
from start to finish.
So thanks a lot for joining us, my friend. You stay safe and look after yourself, and we'll see you the other side. But
we'll see you soon. Yeah, take care, Steve.
You take care, mate.
Cheers, mate. Ta-da.
See you later. Thanks to everybody today. Thanks to Darryl Church, Alan Mortlock, Mark Byrne, and Darren Wiseman. Been a really interesting show. More to come next Monday, where we've got Steve Kipps, who's trained British champions and other really great quality fighters. Eddie Muscat, who does matchmaking as well as helping out with everybody at the Peacock Gym in London, including Daniel Dubois. So he's got some stories to tell. Sean Robinson, former Southern Area champion, now heading towards an English title shot. And finally, Matthew Chander, former Southern Area champion and a Commonwealth title challenger, who had his career ended by injury. And we're going to talk to Matt in detail about how hard it was for him at the end of his career. Thanks so much for watching. I look forward to be back with you next Monday, and I'll see you then. Cheers.